The following video contains spoilers. We suggest watching the episodes alone in the dark. Bibbidi bobbidi poo, Wolfpack. Catastrophe here, and when I'm not magically ruining the lives of children for acting nice, I'm here scratching some bad horrors. And boy howdy do we have one bad egg worth cracking. We're at last gazing upon a dark star. Be careful what you wish for. No! This is one of R.L. Stine's most divisive entries for the classic saga Goosebumps, as there are two camps debating over this title. Some love it for being a wondrous zany misadventure with a deep moral and wacky hijinks, while others despise it for being a mean, depressing masterpiece with awful storytelling and is just plain whack. Surprise, I'm in the camp who hated it.
You were the chosen one!
Be Careful What You Wish For sucks, both as an episode and even a book. I read this plot once and only once. I'm not even going to waste my precious lifetime revisiting this trash because I hate it that much. It's easily one of my least favorite R.L. Stine books. The OG story is such a bleak, nihilistic bore where almost nothing is happening. Well, nothing except for mean-spirited hatred that'll make children wish the world to die. The book sucks, so naturally it meant the adaptation would not bode well either. Now, I have actually heard that there is a fan base who defend the episode, so maybe I might discover some of those alleged positives myself in our latest exhibit visit. This episode was the season premiere for season 2, which holds some of the greatest titles of the series. So maybe the showrunners ended up salvaging another Stine Foley into something magical.
A hope, a chance.
So, gaze into the crystal ball because your familiar kitty shall help you foresee what lies within this review's future. Because if I have to suffer, so do you. This is our wacky reading on the mixed Goosebumps card. Be careful what you wish for. So, our episode opens up at the school gym, where we meet our MVP, Samantha. Fly away, bird! A cute, clumsy idiot who's unnaturally the tallest kid in school, and an antisocial loser. She's a total dorkasaurus, who everyone laughs at because she epic fails at life. Guess it makes sense when you're played by the whiny crybaby from Jason X, who crashed the spaceship. Really, this girl's a bad flyer in everything.
Have a nice trip, bird.
She doesn't fare any better here on Goosebumps either. Sammy's an awkward doormat who can't play b-ball right, can't ever look cool, can't ever stand up for herself, and has nothing go right for her. She's a bigger wussy than that four-eyed freak Jeremy. Everyone hates her so much that the whole class even mocks her for almost dying.
The bird actually tried to fly today. She's as clumsy at flying as she is at basketball.
Jeez, kids are brats. Remind me not to have any.
And yeah, we get to the instant turnoff both this episode and even the book suffer. The mean-spiritedness. Samantha, fly away, bird, has an awful life, and everyone's so unpleasant towards her that you're shocked she hasn't turned into a Carrie yet. It's a rather depressing tale where bullying has become too normal to her. All the bullying hatred she suffers is totally embodied by our idiot alpha bitch Judith, who loves picking on Samantha for really no reason other than she can. She also gave Sam the nickname Fly Away, Bird, to relentlessly taunt how nobody wants her. Judith's easily the worst character in the story because she's an obnoxious, envious twat who has the biggest hate boner for an outcast who barely even knows her.
What's your problem? Our problem is you. When are you going to quit the team?
I love being a bitch! Who said that? Sadly, the acting's not very good here. We get a true return to form of wooden child acting, since most of the kids are far blander than their book counterparts, and only a handful of the cast stick out. Easily the only decent performers are our supernatural character and Sammy's sassy black best friend Corey, who's played by Danger Club member Nathan from the House of No Return, which I'm certain he's grateful for since it meant he got to return on a good Goosebumps episode after starring in this crap. The fact that only one of a major ensemble cast returned to star on a future Goosebumps tale should tell you how well this acting is.
It's all Judith's fault. If she weren't so mean. I never meant to turn anyone into a fly.
Unfortunately, being very loyal to a dull-as-hell book means this is also a dull-as-hell episode, as it's all about Sam's life being endless torment. However, her luck's about to change once she finds a magic amulet. After another hell week of school, Samantha, fly away, bird, bumps into our supernatural Stine con, Clarissa, who I'm just gonna say it, was absolutely bastardized by the show. In the book, Miss Clarissa's a mysterious, enigmatic witch who coyly plays off our protagonist and speaks in a suave demeanor, like a classic sorceress would. But the show says F that and reforges her into a wacky, kooky, eccentric, weirdo bird lady who has less social graces than our 12-year-old girl. Some fans have told me that they love this reinterpretation of the character since they felt the actress rewards Clarissa much more persona and charm, since she's now a well-meaning dimwit who's the only nice soul in Sammy's life. But I find her so annoying and dumb. The actress hams it up to the extreme, and it's never clear if she's a trickster mentor of some sort, teaching Sammy a valuable lesson, or a colossal moron who is a dodo. I really don't enjoy her antics and never laughed once at her stand-up routine. I have no clue what the hell the show is trying to do with this character, because it's so hard to sense if she was meant to be funny or genuinely serious.
Well, wishes are complicated. Magic isn't an exact science, you know. I mean, I did the best that I could.
Great.
Clarissa's intended to be a well-meaning simpleton who tries to deliver good in her new bestie's life, only to comically screw up every time. And we laugh at her dumbassery, which is never funny. Not helping matters is that for some reason the show staff directed her to act like a bird. She has bird-like mannerisms, dresses like a magpie, wears feathers, looks like the Home Alone 2 bird lady, plays up the birds of a feather kinship with Sammy, is implied to be a bird person, etc. But it's so bizarre.
I hate birds. They're so useless.
Like, why? Why is she modeled off a bird? Why is she acting like a magic bird in human form when that's never brought up? Is it because Samantha's last name is Bird, and the book's twist features a bird?
Wow, that's really stupid.
The fact that the twist ending, which the bird theme was meant to foreshadow, got altered only makes this bird gimmick make even less sense. I also really don't see what Clarissa's flock cherish about her, because she reminds me of Martin Short from that garbage Simple Wish movie. She's a fairy who sucks at her job and screws up wishes. Speaking of which, turns out the magic amulet was hers, which she somehow lost at a children's school, and she quickly befriends the loser girl when Samantha, fly away bird, escorts her to a dark alley.
You sure this is where you want to be?
This is fine.
Okay then.
Lucky for me, my neighbor, the mass mutant's away fishing. In thanks towards the girl's kindness, Clarissa vows to grant Bird 3 wishes, gifting her the same magic amulet to make it come true. Where we at last kick off our plot, the classic backfiring magic wishes formula.
Wishes? I wish we had known that earlier.
If it isn't crystal ball clear, this tale acts as a sorta dark Cinderella fairy tale homage, with a down-on-her-luck loser girl gaining a rare chance at happiness from her own personal guardian angel, who can make her dreams come true. However, in Stine's twisted vision, these dreams spiral into nightmares. As you can all guess, the wishes come with backfiring consequences, making life worse. Now, this actually is a rather fun concept, full of so much potential, as even if it's cliched and overdone, a creative mind could at least pull out plenty of insane tricks. Tragically, this is not a fun spin on it. The prob is that unlike the novel, all of Sammy's magic wishes are played for comedy.
What?
On Stine's story, the wishes had grim effects and led to tons of creepy moments. But on the show, it's a zany yuck fest with goofy antics. And it sucks. This episode lets you know that it is not a scary fright, but turns Stine's dark, depressing book into a comedy, which is a major death nail for this story. The show fools you into believing this is gonna be a dark fantasy with enchanting wonder, yet it's anything but. It's a silly Goosebumps tale, which wants to have more fun than gloomy scares. I honestly don't blame the showrunners at all for wanting to lighten the mood up, since this was originally such a mega bleak, nihilistic novel of never-ending depression and boredom that it feels like a step up in comparison. However, because the foundation was already pretty weak, it doesn't raise the episode higher up to me, because it's sanitized so much that it made things far more forgettable and dumber. I suppose I should also inform the 5 book fans who gaslit themselves into loving this bird shit that the episode does take massive creative liberties with the plot. They mercifully gut all the book's filler in order to get straight to the point, so almost all the side characters and smaller scenes are gone. The main character and her classmates' families are all removed or downgraded, as is most of the school staff, the principal, Dr. Stone, and everyone else. Plus, some pointless side missions from the book got deleted to focus on the magic. This, I'll admit, was a good call, because the book dragged on forever.
This is taking forever.
Alas, replacing the depression with comedy was not an upgrade. The wishes all suck and are barely chuckle-worthy at best. Samantha, fly away, birds, first wish is that she's the best basketball player on the team, where all of her class become goofy buffoons who fail at life, allowing her to be the sole winner. Her second wish comes up during one of idiot bully Judith's bitch fits, where Sam accidentally wishes everyone would buzz off, turning all life into flies, and leading to her bad acting meltdown. And the final wish is when she wishes that jerk Judith would like her, where the idiot bully transforms into an idiot yandere obsessed with Birdie. The wishes are not entirely creative, but what makes them suck is that they aren't scary. The class becoming losers who can't even hold a ball is dumb, but somehow Sam treats it like serious biz when she yells at Clarissa over it. And the second wish is a cool idea, but it's ruined by a combo of bad effects and hilariously awful acting. The flies look good up close, but there's some fake-ass CGI of them buzzing around, which looks terrible. The stupid Blankenship bug looked more convincing. Also, the scene where Samantha breaks down from the isolation and causing all life to vanish on Earth is destroyed by her horrendous acting. This chick is terrible.
No! I didn't mean it, Clarissa! Not everyone! No, don't! My mom or my dad!
Made worse by the fact that you can see her smiling. Yes, she's seriously smiling. She caused all life to become mindless flies, and the actress is cracking up when she's supposed to be scared witless.
Please, is anybody here? I didn't mean it, really. I'm sorry.
Oh no! The world is Samantha's performance might be the worst I've seen since frickin' Katie Sackhoff cracking up on The Mandalorian. Atrocious. Every time she's pissed about the wishes, she confronts Clarissa, but she's a total screw-up, just like "Fly away, bird." It's an attempt to make Samantha and Clarissa parallels of each other, since both ladies mean well and want to feel happy, but are klutzy fools who mess up all the time. But that's rendered weak when Clarissa blames a little girl, since she needs specifics.
I followed your instructions as best I could. I do have some power, Sam. I'm not a mind reader. I do as I'm asked.
But what good is a wish if it always backfires?
They don't always backfire.
You all suck at everything.
Again, I really dislike Clarissa because she's not an ominous force of nature like her book counterpart, but also isn't all that funny because the writers gave her nothing funny to work with. She goes from being this fun hocus-pocus witch into Girl Sardo. It's so lame. Things get mildly amusing when the final wish turns Judith into Samantha's own personal yandere, as she becomes a scatterbrained fangirl loving everything her past victim does, from playing b-ball to taking a dump better. However, it gets really cheesy and silly since the crew goes so overboard with it.
What are you gonna have?
I don't know. What are you gonna have?
Whatever you have. You have such great taste. And maybe on the weekend, we can go shopping. I mean, you have to tell me where you get your shoes.
They're just your basic shoes.
But I love the color.
I am too sober for this.
Unfortunately, even that gets played for laughs too, because unlike on the book, Stine portrayed Judith's clinginess as warped and weird because she even broke into Sammy's room at night just to be with her, whereas the show plays her stalking as zany too.
Hi Sam, it's Judith. You're not in, so I guess I'll call you later. Hi, it's Judith again. Call me when you get in. Where are you? Judith, call me.
Where are you? Oh, you're starting to piss me off, you little piglet bitch. Call me.
It's a darn shame, because I thought this was one of the book's highlights, since Judith actually got scary, but the show changing it into a funny moment really disappointed me.
I just love your room. These sheets are so cool.
Shut up.
Eventually, Bird gets sick of Jude breaking into her home to sleep with her, where naturally she blames Clarissa.
Fucking bitch.
The fact that they carried this lesson over from the book about how kids should be careful on greedy desires only to poorly botch it really hurts any goodwill this episode had. I do like how the show is trying to fix the issues of the novel and improve the moral, since there was a decent attempt at trying to give a nice lesson to kids on how wishes don't often grant you fulfillment.
If your old worst enemy is your new best friend, shouldn't you be happier?
Tragically, the moral gets totally muddled here, since it's so weak and amounts to nada. The wishes fail because Samantha's an undecisive moron, and Clarissa's a screw-up making them suck, so any lecture has no ground to stand on. Not to mention, it falls flat when Sammy ultimately gets her way in our grand resolution. Clarissa senses her unhappiness and seeks to repay her new pal, so she grants her one last bonus wish, to fix everything. But this time, "Fly away, bird," wises up and cooks a plan, where exactly like the novel, we gain this retarded move of Samantha wishing Clary met the bully instead of her. Where time gets retconned, everything's normal again, and Judith makes her wish, only to summon our twist ending. Now this is the major change between the book and the show version of this fable, how it ended. In the book, this leads to one of the most dark, depressing conclusions Stine ever wrote since Ricky the Rat chose the dark side, but sadly not in that fun way. Big shock, once again life says screw you towards Sammy, as Judith wishes the gal she hates most would fly away for good, where Samantha literally transforms into a bird, and as far as we know is permanently stuck that way. But guess what? That's okay, because Samantha actually likes being a bird.
What?
You see, Samantha's life was so crappy that she wholeheartedly embraces becoming a cursed animal now, because it means she can abandon her pathetic life forever and fly free, where she soars off into the unknown, glad her abuse is over.
Oh, I made myself sad.
Yeah, it was such a downer, cruel twist ending to go out on, and essentially the idiot bully Judith gets away with everything, coming out on top by the end while Samantha is the one who suffers. It pissed a lot of people off, including the showrunners. Instead, the show writers heavily alter that into a happy, yet dark twist ending, because rather than continue beating down on Sammy some more, Judith dies.
I wish that wherever I was, people would gather around and admire me.
Oh, look, how beautiful.
It's lovely. Yes!
Yep, at last Clarissa does something right by paying back her bestie through punishing idiot bully Judith with dark karma. Since the idiot was also unclear, Jude becomes a gold statue trapped in place to be admired forever. It's never made specific if Judith's now dead or somehow still conscious inside her new body, as the tale closes out on Samantha finally happy, and the idiot winning her comeuppance, with two birds crapping on one stone. This is the big pro which fans love using to defend this episode, because it's so satisfying that the worst idiot bully among Stine's Hall of Infamy got her just desserts.
Yeah, just desserts.
However, the only bad thing I have to say is that the effect has not held up well at all. They seriously just covered Judith's actress in MS Paint, and it looks almost worse than Blankenship's Animal Farm. Even when this episode does something right, it's still far from flawless. But at least I can grant them 1 point for punishing a worse brat than Evan Ross.
Nevermore.
So, that's the end of Be Careful What You Wish For. And it's so bad, it should fly away, turd! This episode sucks. It's not even so bad it's good, it's just lame. I've never been a huge fan of this episode. Even back when I was a kitten, the sole good element I remembered about it was the dark twist ending, because Judith got her comeuppance. But unfortunately, it came attached to a mediocre adventure not worth sitting through. This tale has no sense of wonder, cheap as hell effects, a severe lack of scares, purged all the book's dark drama, humor that's not even good enough for the first graders, an unpleasant mean streak, lackluster acting, a poorly mishandled moral, and worst of all is not entertaining. This episode's so boring. I don't care about Samantha because she's not as sympathetic as her book counterpart. I found Clarissa too ludicrous and uninteresting to love, and fuck Judith. I don't have any hatred towards the show staff, since this tale was already a dumpster fire book, so naturally it would be an equally trash feature film. The sole gold element is the dark twist, but even that can't justify wasting a half hour of your life just to enjoy one decent scare. I don't recommend it at all, because it's merely a poor filler episode. The only thing I foresee in this tale's future is darkness. I grant this episode a decayed skull card and suggest a hard pass. Be Careful What You Wish For sought to be a whimsical fantasy, but got covered in bird poo. I'm your host, Catastrophe, and I wish I never reviewed this trash. What? Yes, it's gone! The bad memory's gone! Cat, you fool! You've only erased your new Goosebumps gallery, which means you're gonna have to review it all over again. Sucker a fucking bleh!
Timmy is an average kid that no one understands. Mom and Dad and Vicky always giving him commands. Doom and gloom up in his room is broken instantly by his magic little facial grants his every wish. 'Cause in reality reality. They are in